Hi, my name is Chip Carmack, and today's topic is about revocable versus irrevocable trust, or as I like to say, revocable versus irrevocable trust. We'll talk about those right after this. Okay, today's topic is about revocable and irrevocable trust, or as I like to say, revocable and irrevocable trust. And so we'll start off with revocable. The reason why I call it revocable is because you can revoke it. What this does is, the main purpose of a revocable trust by most people is to avoid probate and hiring attorneys and getting assets frozen and waiting for the whole process to unwind before the assets get distributed. So if there is a revocable trust, then it can avoid probate if the assets that are in question are put into the revocable trust. That's very, very important. A trust without the assets inside it is worthless. So you need to make sure that you have a good attorney setting this up and that they create the trust and then they put all of the assets into the trust that you want protected from probate. So what does revocable or revocable trust mean? Basically, that means that it can be changed. It can be revoked. You could do away with it. And so it gives the owners of the trust, usually a single individual or a married couple, they still have the control or the power over the trust and the assets in it. So a lot of people like that because they still have control. They determine where the money is going to go. And it's not going to be decided by their children or anybody else. It's going to be determined by them. So most revocable trust, and a lot of people don't understand this, become irrevocable or irrevocable upon the death of the people that created the trust. For example, you have Sam and Sally, and this is a very common occurrence. Sam passes away. Sam and Sally own 50% of that trust. Sam passes away and Sally has her 50% and she can still gain interest off of investment property that's owned or any investments that they own together, but she cannot sell the 50% that Sam owned. And when she passes, his 50% will go to his decedents or his children. And this way Sally can enjoy the use of the assets that they had together, but Sam's children still get the assets when she passes away. So a revocable trust becomes an irrevocable trust in this case because Sally can't change Sam's part of it. He's passed away. That's locked in stone. It's irrevocable. And when she passes away, it goes to however Sam wanted it to go. So that's how a revocable becomes an irrevocable trust. So the next question is, what is an irrevocable or irrevocable trust? Basically, as it sounds like, you cannot revoke it. It can be revoked and changed, but it's not an easy process. Definitely need an attorney to do so, and it's, like I said, it's not an easy process. The main purpose in today's world for a irrevocable trust is for nursing home care, what we call skilled care professionals. So, for example, if you want to take advantage of Medicaid, you have to have assets of less than $2,000. So if you have a house, IRA, investments, and they're in your control, then you will not qualify for Medicaid. Or when you pass away, Medicaid can now go after your estate to get reimbursed. And just to give you a frame of mind of how much money we're talking about, Medicaid or skilled professional care in a nursing home can be roughly $7,000 per month per individual. So if you have a married couple, it could easily be $14,000 per month. So that's $84,000 in 1 year for one individual. $84,000, and if they're in a skilled professional care place for 5 years, that's over $160,000. So that's going to really eat into an asset. And if you have both the husband and wife, there goes the asset. So a lot of people, in order to avoid that, will move the assets out of their control, because that's what Medicaid wants to know, is who, the government wants to know who is controlling these assets. So if you don't control the assets, they're not considered your assets. So in order to do so, they move them into an irrevocable trust. And this has to be done ahead of time. It's what they call a 5-year look back. Medicaid, when a person passes, or part of the Medicaid process, they're going to ask, have you moved assets out of your name within the last 5 years? And if you answer anything other than no, then they're going to come after those assets. Or, as the paperwork says, they can attach those assets and expect to be repaid. So if you want to protect your assets, you move them into an irrevocable trust, and you have to do that ahead of time so that that money is no longer in your control, that asset, and it is in control of somebody else. So another part of that is you want to be very, very careful about who you set up as the trustee of your irrevocable trust, because you want it to be somebody that you know and trust, because they can make changes to it. Now, one of the nice things about an irrevocable trust is that you can change the trustee while you're still alive. So if you say set it up under child A and you're unhappy, you can change it to child B down the road. But once you pass away, whoever is the trustee, they now determine where things are going to go. So if you want your wishes honored, you better make sure that it's somebody you know is going to honor your wishes. One last thing I wanted to mention is what's called Medicare recovery, and I've alluded to it during this video, but basically what it means is, say Sam passes away after he's been in a nursing home. He passes away, but Sally's still alive. The state, the federal government, they are not going to come out after and take the house away from Sally. But when Sally passes away, they will come and take the house away from the inheritance, the kids, because they're looking to get repaid for the money that they've invested in the care for those parents. So if you want to avoid that, an irrevocable trust is the way to go. But as always, I would highly encourage to speak to an estate planner who is a professional in this. I'm giving you overall general advice based on my research from attorneys. But the smartest thing you can do is to talk to an attorney who is an estate planner and does this full time. That's their main bread and butter living. And I've got several that I can recommend that are honest and kind and will take care of you and make sure that you are well provided for, and also your inheritance are provided for. I hope you found this video to be helpful and useful. And as always, I always ask people to subscribe down below. What subscribe means is you won't get pestered or stalked or anything like that, but what that does is it tells Google, which owns YouTube, that you like this video, and it will recommend this video to others. It will also recommend other videos from me to you, or other videos like mine to you. So it's a nice thing to subscribe, especially if you're interested in this topic. The notification bell down below, that does tell you when I drop a new video, and it will notify you that a new video is dropped. That is entirely up to you, but I highly encourage you to subscribe so that YouTube and Google will direct you to other useful videos. Until next week, stay safe and stay healthy.